Welcome back to Ringworm. I hate making videos this early in the morning. I'm only about a third of the way through my coffee, but this dude is wound up and we need to do something about it. Party week got pushed back a little bit. The weather was just too good to be out camping on the lake. We gotta wait till it gets a little colder. And I just got, let me show you a picture. I finally got that. Did you want to see it first? What if the people want to see it? By the time you look at it, it'll be all wet. Got a picture of needles going into my spine. So I'm waiting to see if the steroids or whatever they put in there work. Definitely can't pack up all my stuff right now and go out to party week. So I don't know, maybe we'll do it in a week, two, who knows. You probably already know this, but normally we wake up early. He chews on a bone or does something for an hour. I drink some coffee and then we go back to bed. It's been a couple hours and you're not going back to bed, are you? I want to let him out. Thought I'd show you guys this. Got it in, well, not really in the mail, but I got it. Just a quick little recap. This little dude here is about 7 months old. He always just sticks around, so never had to worry about him running away or anything. And a few weeks ago, he just, out of nowhere, just took off. Somebody found him a couple miles away. I think he got a free ride in a police car at some point. So my only options here were to keep him on a leash all the time, which is not gonna happen. Make a fenced-in area. I have the fence, but I just don't want to do that. I like that he can run around. Or the third option is get him some kind of collar that I can track him. You can use something like a Apple AirTag, put it in their collar, but in order for that to work, you have to have other people with Apple devices around for it to ping off of. There's a few options like that, and then the step up uses GPS and cell signal. But I think the GPS gives the location, and then it goes through the cell tower to hit your phone, tell you where he is. But if you got off the hilltop here where camp is, went anywhere else, I don't think it would work. So the last option is to spend a bunch of money and get a real GPS collar, like for a hunting dog. This is about the cheapest one I could find. I've taken this out when I was down at Sarah's having my back appointments. Just made sure it works. And I tell you what, it's pretty rad. It's pretty well built too. The Garmin, I think, is like the top brand of these GPS collars, and they're, I don't know, $500, $600, $700, $800, $900 or something. This was about I think this was $420. It's pretty sweet, but it has a couple of downsides. One, you have to carry this in order for it to work. This can't go straight to your phone. You use the phone as a screen. I'll show you all that stuff. It seems pretty cool. You got a lot of options for keeping track of your dog. Other downside is this antenna. I added this little piece of Velcro on. But man, I put this thing on him and all he wants to do is bite it. He constantly sees it behind him. See, like that. You're not supposed to eat that. That's supposed to go around your neck, buddy. And then the third downside is, unlike an AirTag or some of these other collars that'll last for a week or 2 or 3, I think the battery life on this is like 6 or 8 hours. Yeah, he needs to go outside. So I don't know that I can just put this on him in the morning, send him out the door, and then in the evening, usually we come back in when I'm eating dinner like 7 o'clock. I don't think it'll last that long, but we're gonna find out. So I've put this thing on him, made sure it works, kind of played with the app a little bit, but I mean, I haven't used it for its purpose. He hasn't been out running around. So you open the app, turn this thing on, turn this thing on. It's kind of big and clunky, but he really doesn't seem to mind having it on. I guess we gotta take his other collar off. He gets excited when a different collar goes on because he knows something fun's about to happen. The cool thing about this too is that it's not just GPS. It has the prongs, like the electrodes in it, so you can use it as like an e-collar. It also has a beep that you can control, a vibration, and something else that we'll figure out in time. So the only thing I can figure with this so he doesn't eat it is I'm just Velcroing it back down to the collar. and I'm sure you're going to lose a lot of range doing that. I think this thing's supposed to have a 9-mile range. I'm guessing in the forest, let's say it's half of that, and then maybe you strap it down like this and you get half of that. I don't know. I think if it works for a mile, that'd be great. Oh no, somebody put it on you upside down. What a big dummy. Can you lift your big old head up? Okay, now we got it on. Do you mind it? Nope, not at all. I can tell you're highly bothered. So the reason I'm making this video right now is we need to do a little training before we get out into the woods party week where it's a new area. As you know, he's pretty good with the come command. Even if he's a long ways away, if he can hear my voice, he comes running. If he's further than that, which happened that one time, I want to train him to come from a beep. We'll just do it one time. You hear that? I think that's what we're going to work on today. All right, he's on our map. I can see him walking around in the cabin. So there's a few options on here. Pretty sweet. So you've got mobile fence, geofence, and e-fence. The mobile fence is why there's a ring around this right now. You can make that circle as big or small as you want, and I don't know if it's centered. It's centered on you, so it's either the phone or the receiver, which should be in the same place. And right now it's set to 100 yards and there's an alarm on it. So regardless where I am, if he's more than 100 yards away, I'll get a message. The geofence is similar, but you can go on the map and you can draw any shape you want. And if he goes out of that, same thing again. So I could outline all of ringworm, but I don't really want him to go that far away. We're kind of on one corner of the property. Yeah, that's not going to work. And then maybe we need to train him on the third option, which is the e-fence. Same thing. Draw whatever shape you want. And I haven't done much reading on this. I think you can set it so as he gets close to that line, the collar will beep and or vibrate as like a warning. And if he keeps going, then you get the e-stimulation, which, you know what? I always thought I thought a shock collar was something horrible. Apparently it's the same as an e-collar, and all an e-collar is an e-stim. You know, like you have a surgery and you don't want your muscles to waste in that area, so you put those electrodes on and you turn it up and down and it stimulates your muscle. Before I put this on him and ever was going to try that, I tried it on myself. It doesn't hurt, it just feels weird. And with him, you can turn it down so low, like basically to the point where I could just barely feel it. I did it on my arm, my leg, put it on my neck. But he's a incredibly sensitive dog. I think that's part of the breed, so you don't need to crank the thing up to get his attention. So I guess we need to decide what we're going to do with this today, how we're going to train him. I think we just need to start with the come command with the beep, and then we'll go from there. Load up some good treats in my make it yourself treat bag, doggy training bag. I like your flashing lights, buddy. Very festive. Please don't run away. Looks like we're eating breakfast outside today, even though it's supposed to rain in a minute. So this receiver does have a single button on it that you can pre-program. So it can either be the e-stim, you push it, it just goes bzz, or constant is as long as you push it, it stimulates. Pager is the vibration thing. We're going to put it on tone. Hit update. Now we can just use this without having to take the phone out every time. But if you have this open, you do have the option of any of those things just from the screen. I'm not sure if I should click this and then tell him COME or the other way around. Let's try the beep first. Kuiper, come. Good boy. Problem is now he knows I got treats, so he's just going to follow me around for a while. Kuiper, come. Good boy. Kuiper, come. Maybe he's going to get used to seeing this thing come out, and then he's going to come running. Kuiper, come. Okay, breakfast, and then we'll do it some more. I'm kind of addicted to this strawberry and granola breakfast. I do love a nice, hot, fresh American breakfast of any sort, but I like not having to cook, and it's like one of the few breakfasts that I can eat in the cabin. The weather sucks. Yeah? Is that scary? He needs a new nickname with that collar on. strobe boy or something. It's lunch. It's just that we both got really tired and we had to take a couple-hour nap. Actually, he slept. I'm ratting him out. He slept for a full 3 hours. I edited videos for an hour and a half and then slept for an hour and a half, so I don't feel so bad. When I woke up, I had an idea. Different way to train this. I have his favorite treats now. Kuiper, come. Good boy. I think I'm going to try them both at the same time. Can both beep, tell them to come, or I just start beeping it, hand him a treat. Beep it, hand him a treat. Kuiper, come. Ooh, he jumped up when the beep happened. This is his favorite game. Eventually you got to get the association, right? Beep and then snack. Walk around a little bit here. See if I can get him to focus on something else than do it. I think he's catching on though. Kuiper, come. Good boy. Doesn't always help when he's just eating lunch. He's not quite as motivated, like he doesn't come sprinting for the treats. Still likes them, but it's not quite the same when he's full. Kuiper, come. Whoa, easy. One thing I've learned training a dog and using a lot of treats is how you give it to him. Don't give it to him like this or like this. Just put it in your hand like this so they can't bite your fingers. He's pretty gentle, but you know, sometimes he gets riled up and just puts your whole hand in his mouth. Other good thing is if you've got a soft treat and it's bigger, you can put it in your hand like this, like a piece of cheese or something, and they can get some of it. They can nibble pieces off, but they can't grab the whole thing. So they do something, you reward them, they get at least the flavor of it, or maybe a couple little pieces, and then you can take it away and then you can use it again. You're just about knocking me over, buddy. It's pretty hard lean. You think you're too skinny. Yeah, you probably need more treats. I don't know if you could always hear the beep, but he definitely turned around when he heard that one. Oh my God. I just ran into the table. Come on. Come on, here we go. Get some exercise. You're making me sick. Can you go the other way around, please? Come on, buddy, come on. Get up. You know what, while we're training, I think I have an idea. I don't know if you can see this, but the blue squiggle is where I've walked, and the yellow squiggle is where Kuiper's been. If you see that loop up top there, the two loops, we just started walking back through here. I was thinking about walking kind of the outside of camp, because if you look at the map here, it's not like your neighborhood where you could see your yard and you could draw a line around it. But if we walk the outside here, we can look back at this and then we can set up a e-fence. Actually, I'll show you in a minute when I do it. Let's just take a walk around here. Or you can, do you want to stay? You want to come with? I don't know if you're busy. If you're not busy, let's go. You looked up, wow, you're not so into these treats now. You've had about 50 of them. Ah, look at that. That there is called a squash of mushrooms. Yeah, look at them. There's like a line. Wow, those suckers are solid. You can see all the spores on the ground underneath that white. The way I usually drive out of here on the four-wheeler, next to, you guys have seen it a million times, next to the cabin, goes down the other side of this hill here and then back out. And then there's also the trail between the wheeler garage and the lean-to. Try to use that just for walking. That out there is where not too long ago that tree ate my chainsaw, busted my chainsaw bar. But I don't see any reason for him to go down there. I guess he could go out here. Kuiper, come. No, you were too slow. That doesn't count. There's really no reason for him to go by himself past about here, because this is down the hill where I can't see him. Yeah, this right here is about as far as he should go, I guess. Would be fine if he came here. I have to come to each one of these things and do a little dance around it so I can tell on the map. Whoa, Tito's tent deck's getting a little bit squishy. I think it has like a 3-year limit. This is a nice spot, isn't it? Really makes me want to have a deck on my cabin, a screened-in deck, or a screened-in porch. What the hell's the difference? I bet nobody knows. We'll do a screened-in deck or porch on the front, and then off of that, another unscreened deck or porch. I guess I can't build it till I find out what the difference is. You have to know the name before you get started. Kuiper, come. And we're right back by the shower. And this is how you get to the walking shooting range back here. But he's not allowed. You guys got a nice tour of camp. It's not like most of you haven't been watching for 4 or 5 years. Oh, I don't see him. I bet he's under the table, but let's try the beeper. Kuiper, come. Oh, jeez. Hi there. Good boy. So I did see him right as I was about to push it. I pushed it and his head came up. And then when I called him, he ran. I think we're just going to keep doing it like this for the rest of the day. Do it another 50 times or something, and then tomorrow morning do it a little bit more, and then we'll just try working on just the beeper. All right, we're back. Let's have a look-see. Oh, wow. That filled it out. That's camp. That's where most of these buildings are. The squiggle where we are right now is like kitchen area. I think the squiggle right in the middle is the cabin. We go to e-fence. E-fence near zone setup. Oh yeah, so you can choose. It says the dog enters the near zone, the collar will vibrate to warn them. So you can choose the size of that no man's land. If he's running out there where he'll get vibration and then he'll get the e-stim. The only reason you'd want it pretty big is if he was hauling. Like if he was just running, I don't know that he'd feel it very well. It goes 5 to 15 yards. I mean, out here, I can't really see a reason why you'd want to make it small. Since it's 5 to 15, let's go 10 yards. I'm just gonna drop points around all the places we've walked so far. Sorry, this is kind of hard to do it in the GoPro, but let's just, well, we can move them, so let's drop one there. One there, and I don't know, there. Save. Please save the outer fence boundary. Oh, look at that. That's cool. You guys are probably getting about as used to that sound as I am by now. Sometime I should just let this run so you can see how much he drinks. He took a drink about 20-30 minutes ago. That bowl was full. He's quite a craftsman. And then he didn't even lay down in it. I mean, really, that's almost ideal, isn't it? The furthest out we walked anywhere, he'd be getting buzzed. I pushed a button accidentally and it erased all those tracks, so we just did another walk around here. And I was actually a lot more careful to walk right on the line of where I'm good with him being and where he shouldn't be. So here's what I set up. It looks pretty good, right? Now we save. We are syncing the e-fence boundary with the GPS receiver via Bluetooth. Update completed. Confirm. It's pretty sweet. The only thing I couldn't really find is how you train the dog to understand the e-fence. You're not really going to be able to train him to know the exact line. He's just going to have to be able to feel it, which also means you'll never be able to use that vibration for anything else. Like for training, it would just confuse him. I don't know when party week starts, but he really needs to have this. We really need to have this figured out by then. So that thing's been on him for, I don't know, 5 or 6 hours. This collar's at 96% charge and the receiver's at 100%. So maybe it's better than I thought. I was just going to sneak away while he was sleeping so we could try one more setting on here. If you got to go find him, there's the compass. And I think if you click view all, yep, the yellow should point right to him. Seems to be working. I kind of want him to run around now. 11.5 feet away. Oh. 8 feet. 6 feet. He's got his dinner towel going on. It's easier to take this thing off when he's not trying to lick my hands. I'm trying to teach him to walk on a leash, which he now does very well. You know what? If any of you have dogs, I'd like to give a shout out to another YouTuber. Sarah's dog Violet is a puppy and she is a spaz. She would go crazy around other dogs. It's just because she wanted to play with them. And just like the e-collars, you know, we thought prong collars were inhumane. I'll put in the description of this video a link to 2 or 3 videos. If you've got a dog that you can't walk on a leash, a dog that's always pulling, or if you have to like put a harness on your dog so basically it can pull you, you should definitely watch these videos. It's I believe it's Hamilton Dog Training. We watched one video, it's like an hour long, and we immediately stopped it, got up, went to the pet store, got a prong collar, and did exactly what he showed in the video, and Violet was walking on a leash in like 5 to 10 minutes. It was crazy. Anyway, you watch, you'll see. I wish we could, oh, check it out. It's USB. We can charge on this side. Then we don't have to use the inverter. I'm sure it'll take way longer to charge, but it saves me power. Push the button. Charging. Wow, it's going from an old USB. Is that USB-A? So it's only drawing 5 watts total. I mean, they're barely drained, but it'll probably still take hours to charge them up. But I think if you plug it into this to a wall socket, it'll like charge from dead in, I want to say like 2 hours or something. Well, good morning again. Just about to start working on his beeper recall. I wouldn't normally put this in a video, but you might think this is bizarre enough to watch. I notice in my car, I'm pretty uncomfortable. It's the worst for me sitting in there. This thing is not adjustable, this headrest, and I feel like it leans too far forward, so I can't like get my spine straight. I'm always kind of pushed over like this. I know these things are pretty stout because they gotta survive a crash, but I'm gonna see if I can bend these. Took the bottom apart and looked in here, and interestingly enough, this foam is poured with this in the middle of it. It's not put around there later. It is a metal horseshoe in there, but there's no way to get it out, so you think we can bend this by hand? Kind of sucks these aren't even parallel right now. I don't know why that is. I pulled it right out of the seat. I guess we'll see if we can straighten one of these out. Let's see, that needs to go down. I think I'm gonna have to use butt weight. Even then, I don't think this is gonna work. Maybe? Nope. Yeah, that did work. So I might be able to sit on this and use this, but I think it would be a lot more fun to try my other idea. I can definitely bend it this way. Oh, somebody's going to want to play with that, I bet. Let's see, we got to do this horizontal like and at the same angle so I can actually get it in there. These drill bits are so much fun, especially with a good drill. I like that you don't have to put any pressure on them because they have that threaded end on them. Actually got to get these in as far as possible, so I think we're gonna have to trim this back a little bit. What do you think? There it is. Perfect. So that's slightly up. I think we could get that almost to flat. I think it's moving. Maybe not. Maybe I shouldn't have this right underneath my jaw in case the thing breaks. I think it's working. You know, I think we're gonna leave it like that. My tooling is always set up here, so I'll try it. See if I notice a difference. If it needs more, we'll come back and do it later. Aren't you glad you saw that project? Man, that's a weird one. So I emailed the company to ask how you're supposed to train a dog with the e-fence. And they said it's exactly the same as if you had an underground, like a buried wire fence. You got to put flags out and whatnot. You know, out here, a lot of the places he could take off is just like through brush. So I decided to start working with him on the few trails out of here, which is, I think, where he would normally go. I mean, he does go charging through the forest all the time, but just like wildlife, you know, they stick to the easiest path. And I'm amazed how quickly he picked this up. It was like one try. Oh, let's see if he responds to the beep. Yep. Whoa, easy. One thing I figured out though is I've been working with him on walking on a leash. So if I put him on a normal leash, he would not, I mean, he just stays right next to me and you can't really train him that way. Whenever I put him on a retractable leash, it's usually like to go out to go to the bathroom or something and he can go wherever he wants. I don't know how long this is, like 20, 30 feet or something. So I've done this with him twice now, and each time was like 10 or 12 minutes, which is really only like 4 or 5 buzzes. And right now the e-collar is turned off, just that vibration. And when he was playing with Violet or playing with another dog, when he first put it on there, I tried using the vibration just to get him to come or to listen or something. It's like it wasn't even there. You could hold the button down and nothing. But being out here in the forest is completely different. It's usually silent, and like in the middle of the night, if I move my feet on my bed, he jumps up. It's like in the absence of all that chaos, that vibration really, I mean, it really kind of freaked him out the first few times. But let's go walk down one of these trails that we've already worked on twice, and you can see how he reacts. I don't know if he's going to be quite as startled as he was the first time, but the second time I went down there, he was very hesitant. He remembered where the line was. This is going to be a real challenge to hold all these things. I like to have the phone open, the screen open, so I can see when we're coming up on the boundary, because I have the volume turned off on the phone. I don't want to train him to react to the noise from my phone instead of the vibration in the collar. But you also need to train him. I mean, he will notice the vibration, and if you don't train him at all, I can see the dog hunkering down, or I can see him just taking off in any direction, which isn't going to be good. So on the retractable collar, I let him walk to that area. You can see he'll go, whoa, and the collar blinks a different color. And then you've got to coax him back the direction he's supposed to go. I think already he knows he doesn't want to go down this trail. He's at the end of the leash. Come on, buddy. Come on. Yeah, he's not interested. Come on. Wow. This is pretty close to the line, and he will not come this direction. I kind of don't want to pull him into it either. I was hoping he'd walk out in front of me. Let's find a different boundary. Let's see, we also worked on this sort of trail down here by the kitchen. Come on. I don't know if he's remembering the training or the vibration, or if he knows I've got my phone out and he's on this leash, but he will not come this way either. He'll walk next to me here and probably up to the cabin. Let's see if he stops before we get down this trail here. Come on, bud. Come on. No, he doesn't want to go down here either. Maybe that's all it took, was 2 times down each trail, and he's trained. I'd like to take him off the leash now and see if he'd follow me down there, but since it hasn't been that much training, I'm afraid he'll do that. He'll bolt the wrong way. Come on. It's right about here at the top of this little hill. I think it'll buzz. You don't want to come down here? He's like right on the borderline. You don't want to come down? Nope. No way. Well, that was easy, huh? Yeah, so this is the problem though. That's one trail way over there, one little trail there, and one here. But what about in between? If that was just grass or something, it would be really easy to just walk down the line, hit that spot over and over, but I'm not sure how we'll train that. I guess we could try a random spot in the woods and see what happens. He could be picking up on my body language too when I slow down and look at him. I don't have my phone out, so I can't tell when it's about to buzz. But he'll tell you. Oh, good boy. Good boy, buddy. You went the right way. Good job. Okay, there's one more spot that he understands. And when it went off, he went back towards camp. That's good. Come on, Kite. Trying to remember if we came down this one yesterday or not. I think we did. I think he's remembering all the places we've been. So that's fantastic. I think we could do the same thing party week. I have to take him out there. I can walk the perimeter of where he's good to be. We'll drop the pins out there and then I'll take him out, walk him out till he hits the edges, bring him back. And it'll be a lot easier out there because there's no undergrowth. So I mean, we can hit that perimeter 50 times if we need to in different spots. Oh, by the way, when I put this on the charge the other night, the receiver, the thing that on my belt, the little yellow thing, took 20 minutes to charge maybe. I think I might have looked at it at 30 minutes and it was already charged. And the collar was like less than an hour. So yeah, I think the battery life is way better than I expected. But maybe that has something to do with which mode you're using and how many times it vibrates and how much you're using the E-stim. But out here, I don't think it's gonna have any problem going all day long. All right, let's try one direction that we haven't been before. He's backed up into the collar. He is not going. Okay, buddy, you win. You win. Now is kind of a weird time where he's sort of getting the idea of the collar, but there's also still a good chance that he'll go some other direction through the woods that we haven't been. The thing will go off and he'll go running the opposite direction. So I think right now I'm just going to switch it back to that radius around me where it just sends me a message if he leaves. Let's try pushing the button, see if he comes on the beep. Yep, no calling or anything. Good boy. It's pretty sweet. Can call him even when you can't see him. I'd say we've done just about all we can do right now. Tito and Sarah are supposed to be here later today. My back's still iffy, so I don't know if party weeks, I don't know what we're gonna do. We might hang here for a few days, have fires, eat steaks, do nothing, and then move out to the campsite. We might just stay here. We might move out there the whole time. As always, don't know who's gonna show up, who's coming. Maybe a bunch of people, maybe no one. But I'm looking forward to it. It's a great time to just lay around and eat a lot of food and get fat and sloppy. All right, we're gonna end this video on, uh-oh, he laid down. We're gonna try to end this video on a winning note. Good boy. Good boy. What is that? 3 days total. Okay, see you next Saturday. Thanks for watching this kind of weird video. It's all right. It's worth watching if you got a cute dog to look at, right? I think 9 out of 10 Americans think so. I don't know. Anyway, see you next week.